welcome to another edition of Blood on the Razor Wire TV, where we bring it to you real and we bring it to you raw. Hit that subscribe button, share the video. First, before we get started, I want to give a shout out to Dennis. Some of you might remember the video with Dennis where, he talked about building a bomb in prison and all that stuff. Well, unfortunately, Dennis passed away last week, so, we're going to just pray that Dennis is living a better life upstairs, He spent many years of his life in prison, came home, was home about 4 years, and now he's gone. So that's just a testament to how valuable your life is. So the video today, we're going to talk about the most vicious booty bandit in prison. Yeah, I know it's a crazy title. You're probably like, what the hell? But some people don't know what booty bandits are, some do. But what is a booty bandit, right? Booty bandits can come in all shapes, all forms, all races. Booty bandits are people, to me, that prey on people for sex in prison, right? Sometimes these are the guys where you heard the prison story. Don't eat a candy bar off your bunk, or don't take nothing from anybody because they might want something in return. That stuff happens. Sometimes you got booty bandits that, try to rape people. Other ones try to trick you and manipulate you and act like they're your friend. And that's, the candy bar story, right? The infamous candy bar story. Some of it's bullshit, some of it's real. But today we're going to talk about the guy that I was in prison with out of Kentucky. Dana Mattingly. I met Dana in USP Coleman many years ago when some people thought that Dana was half normal, I guess. But as we get into the story, you might think that Dana was never normal. So I probably shouldn't even refer to him as being normal. But he was the dude that hung out with the white guys. He was a white dude. Not a big dude, about 5'5", 5'6". He did more burpees than anybody I've ever seen in prison. This dude would do 4,000 or 5,000 burpees a day, literally. He seemed like a regular white dude, hung out with the woodpile, hung out with the white dudes. People liked him, respectful. Dana was in prison for armed bank robbery out of Kentucky. And years later, he would go to another prison. And I happened to be at this prison when he got there. And I had seen Dana. Hey, what's up, man? How are you? I gave him a little package of, deodorant, soap, just small things. Little care package, we call them. And I did it out of respect because I had known him from another jail. So Dana's in this jail, and he gets word that there's a guy in his unit that is a sex offender. And this guy was on a parole violation. And this is when the story gets crazy, right? So Dana talks to the dude and tells the dude, hey, man, I want to tie you up to my bed and I want to have sex with you, but I'm going to pay you. I'm going to pay you 20 books of stamps. So some of you might not know, that stamps in federal prison are what we use as currency. So back then, 20 books of stamps was, equivalent to $100. You could actually take 20 books of stamps, some of the most raggedy stamps you've ever seen, sell them to a guy that wants them for $100 on your prison account, or $100 to your family, however you wanted the money. Like I said, stamps is currency. So you can buy things in prison that you want. Gambling, onions, peppers, meat out of the kitchen, stuff that people steal that you might want. Other people make greeting cards. Everybody's got to hustle in prison. So that's what the stamps are used for, We're living a life inside of a life in there. Prison is a city within a city, so to speak, right? So on this particular day, Dana tells the dude, hey, man, I want to tie you up. I want to have sex with you. And this idiot agrees. Obviously he was, homosexual or whatever, did things to kids, and that's why he was in prison originally, came back on a violation. So he agrees. So Dennis goes in the cell with this guy, closes the door. And when he closes the door, he pretty much seals his fate. And Dana puts up a blind on the window. In a maximum security federal prison, we put up blinds when we use the bathroom. And the cops usually don't mess with you. They might knock on the door. Anybody in there? And you just holler back, taking a shit. And the cop keeps it pushing. He don't stop. He don't mess with you. Now, if he comes back 2 or 3 times and hits the door and you're still in there, he might knock on the door and open it just a crack to look in. And that's what this dude was probably praying was going to happen, that the cop would look in time. But not on this day. That didn't happen. So Dana ties the dude to the bed, gets him tied up, and he does some wild, crazy sexual shit to the dude. And when he's done, yeah, that's the part where I said he was normal. I take that back. He wasn't even part normal. He ties the dude up, does some crazy sexual shit, and what happens next is like, wow. Is this shit really happening? Does this shit really happen in prison? So Dana tells the dude that he's a child molester and he's going to kill him. He pulls out a knife, pulls out a bone crusher, nice piece of steel, sharpened, says, I'm going to kill you, dude. And the dude starts to scream. And Dana says, if you don't shut up, I'm going to poke your eyes out. Dude keeps screaming. So what does Dana do next? He takes some socks and he balls them up. He tells the dude, if you don't shut the fuck up, I'm going to shove these socks down your throat. So now the dude gets quiet. And Dana does the next craziest shit that you'll probably ever hear. He takes 2 of these. Family size. Yeah, degree deodorant. I still use this stuff, man. This is the stuff we used in prison. I still use that. Maybe I'm institutionalized. Yeah, right. I just like the way it smells, man. So anyway, Dana takes 2 of those and he tapes them together. And he shoves them in the dude's ass. Dude starts screaming again. Yeah, you can't make this shit up, man. No one could possibly make up a story like this. So Dana puts shit in the dude's ass. Dude starts screaming again. And Dana takes the socks. And he stuffs the socks down the dude's throat. Stuffs them down the dude's throat. Dude can't scream no more. And Dana starts stabbing the dude. Stabs his eyes out. Stabs him 20, 30 times. He kills the dude. It's not over, though. Kills the dude. Takes his stamps back. Dana takes his 20 books of stamps back. Puts them in his pocket. Walks out of the cell. Leaves the blind up. Goes outside. And he gets in the poker game with them 20 books of stamps. Takes them 20 books of stamps. Gets in the poker game. Starts playing poker. And then the deuces go off. So those of you that don't know what the deuces are, that's like the body alarm. Back in the day, they would hit the two on their phone, the cops. Whenever there was an emergency, the cops would run to that unit. Well, now they got them walkie-talkies. And I talked about that before. So he hits his handheld radio. Deuces go off. Cop had opened up the door. Dudes in the unit were like saying that the cop started screaming when he seen what he seen. Vicious, man. That's a vicious booty bandit victim right there. So Dana comes back to the unit. All the cops are out there. People are walking in. They're sending all the prisoners back to their cells. Going to lock us in. Boom. So they can do an investigation. But there was no investigation really because Dana got to the door and he said, man, you don't have to look for anybody. It was me, man. I did it. And the cop just stepped back. What the because that's what I would be doing too. I'd be like, what the fuck? What did this dude just say? What did this dude just do? So Dana tells him that it was him. They lock Dana up. Dana goes to the hole. And I ended up in the hole with Dana about a month and a half later. And I said, Dana, what the hell's going on, man? What happened to you, man? And he said, dude, I don't know what happened, man. He said, I really can't tell you what happened. He said, I just snapped. I said, you snapped, dude? I said, dude, you raped this dude, bro. Like, he said, no, I didn't rape him. He said, I paid him. He said, he was a child molester, dude. It was almost as if Dana was trying to justify what he did by saying, hey, look, dude, dude's a sex offender. Dude, dude raped kids, so I went ahead and raped him. I don't believe that men should be raping men. So he couldn't really justify that to me. And then we got to talking. And I said, man, why did you really do what you did? He said, you know what, man? He said, I got tired of living like this. He said, I'm ready to go to the ADX. And I said, why do you want to go to the ADX, bro? ADX, you're locked in, man. You have no human contact, nothing. And that's what's going to happen with Dana. Dana will never again have human contact. He'll never probably be able to be face to face with another human being. He's like Hannibal Lecter, this dude, man. So he tells me, I just want my own TV, because in ADX they give you a TV. He says, I just want my own TV, man. I want to be able to watch American Idol without people yelling and screaming around me. What? You want to watch American Idol so you just killed dude? Are you serious right now? Dana Mattingly, the most vicious booty bandit to ever walk a compound, at least to me. Because when you do shit like that, you know, you do the little degree trick that he did on the dude, you're just like I said before, you're just like, wow, man. I mean, vicious, right? Vicious to do something like that to somebody. And Dana ended up sitting in the hole down there for a couple years, went to court. You know, they charged him because, you know, he killed the dude, raped the dude. And instead of going to trial, Dana copped out. Cop out means he pled guilty. He said, yeah, I did it. You know, I'm not trying to fight this. I'm not going to trial. Give me whatever sentence you're going to give me, and, you know, let's call it a day. So Dana ends up pleading guilty. Says, yeah, I'm guilty. And he gets sentenced to life. Life in prison. Who the hell pleads guilty to life in prison? Only dudes like Dana Mattingly, right? Only dudes like Dana Mattingly. So, this is what a booty bandit is, man. These are the dudes that are in prison, man. These are the type of dudes that are in there. Not all dudes in prison are bad. There's a lot of good dudes in prison. But there's some dudes in prison that are just outrageous, man. That will commit heinous acts of violence. That will do things that would shock your mind. Do things that make you say, wow, how the hell did that happen? Or whoa, right? Dana was that dude, man. That wow dude. And to know a dude and think that you know him, like know him good enough to give him a little package when he got to the prison. Hey man, what's up? How are you? And for him to go a couple years later and do some shit like that, you never knew that dude. That dude is not the dude that I knew. But he's definitely a dangerous dude. Just a little guy, but dangerous. But why is he dangerous? Because he's not right upstairs, man. There's a lot of dudes in there that ain't right upstairs. Dudes that are just absolutely nuts. This dude happens to be a dude that's just absolutely nuts. So that's a little take on the whole booty bandit thing, man. The most vicious booty bandit I ever seen. The most vicious booty bandit I've ever been in prison with. And I never expected him to do some shit like that. Don't be that dude, man. Don't subject yourself to being in prison around dudes like Dana Mattingly.